Hello and welcome to another edition of News Showcase. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. India's President Drupadi Murmu led the country in celebrating the 75th Republic Day at Delhi's Kartavya Path. Emmanuel Macron, the President of France, was the chief guest as India displayed its military might and cultural richness. The ceremony started with the visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to the National War Memorial. For the first time, more than 100 female musicians led the parade and performed on Indian musical instruments. Reports said 13,000 guests took part in the parade as contingents of various military units marched along. A marching detachment of the French armed forces and a united band passed along Kartavya Path as two French Air and Space Force Rafale fighter jets and a multi-role tanker flew over the contingents.
Modi greeting President Murmu and, of course, his friend, the President.
Emmanuel Macron also unveiled plans to encourage more Indian students to pursue higher education in France. He stated his ambitious goal on social media of having more than 30,000 pupils in France by 2030. Macron went on to explain how France will help the students, stating that non-French speaking students would be able to attend French universities through the establishment of foreign classrooms. He said France was expanding the Alliances Françaises network and developing classes with multinational capabilities. Macron also stated that France will facilitate the visa process for any former Indian students who studied in France. The French president is scheduled to leave India in hours from now after his two-day visit. In Tamil Nadu, Governor R.N. Ravi hoisted the national flag on the iconic Marina beachfront in Chennai to mark the country's Republic Day. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, the Chief Secretary Shivdas Meena, lawmakers, members of the judiciary and foreign envoys took part in the event. Later, servicemen from the three wings of the military staged a march past. The chief minister also handed out awards to citizens for their outstanding achievements in different categories. A long line of tableaux representing various departments of the state and depicting historic scenes took part in the customary parade. Students from schools and colleges staged skits and dances to showcase the art and cultural heritage of the state.
From the contingents of various forces who will march past the saluting bays. The
Flight Lieutenant Meghna Balla, Indian Air Force.
வீரர்கள் அணிவகுத்து வருகின்றனர்.
Bagpiper contingent is led by Sub-Inspector SPN Kannan.
Tamil actor Vijayakanth, who passed away in December, was among those honored with the country's coveted Padma Awards. After a string of hits which brought him fame as an actor, he switched to politics and founded the DMDK party. Other prominent achievers named for the awards were actors Chiranjeevi, Mithun Chakraborty, singer Usha Uthup, and former Vice President Venkaiah Naidu. Padma Awards, one of the highest civilian awards of the country, are conferred in three categories. According to a government announcement, the 132 awards this year included 110 Padma Shri Awards, 17 Padma Bhushan Awards, and 5 Padma Vibhushan Awards. The film industry in Tamil Nadu, political leaders and others have offered their condolences after composer Ilayaraja's daughter, Pavaratini, died from illness Thursday evening. Reports said the 47-year-old passed away while she was under medical treatment in Sri Lanka for some time. Reports in the Indian media said she failed to recover during 5 months of Ayurvedic treatment for her ailment. Pavaratini made her debut as a playback singer in a Tamil film, which was an instant hit. Reports said her songs were featured in more than 30 films. She went on to sing for lyrics by her brothers and to tunes composed by her father. Her death came as a shock to the millions of his fans around the world. Leaders of the IJK have taken part in an event to mark the start of construction of a public hall funded by the political party in central Tamil Nadu. Its founder Parivaindar and its president Ravi Pachamuthu laid the foundation stone for the facility in Ulundorpet, which is being built at an estimated cost of 10 crore rupees. Parivaindar is also a lawmaker who represents the constituency of Perambalur in Tamil Nadu. The hall will be part of a property being developed by the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam. The ceremony was attended by top officials and senior members of the party. The son and daughter-in-law of a lawmaker in Tamil Nadu have been placed in judicial custody for 2 weeks on charges of causing physical harm to their domestic help. According to reports, the pair fled Chennai before they were arrested in neighboring Andhra Pradesh state. Earlier, the Madras High Court had urged them to surrender and seek bail. Police started an investigation after a young woman who worked as a helper at the home of the couple in Chennai said in her complaint that she was beaten, harassed, and humiliated by them. The DMK lawmaker Karunanidhi distanced himself from the case immediately after it was reported. After switching sides once again, Nitish Kumar, who is already the Chief Minister of Bihar, will be sworn in again in the post on Sunday with the backing of the BJP. Under the new arrangement, there will be 2 deputy chief ministers, both from the BJP. Reports said fresh polls will not be held as the election in the state is due next year. The sudden shuffling of political allegiance is aimed at putting together a winning strategy ahead of the general elections in just months from now. This week, Kumar's Janata Dal United pulled out of the opposition India bloc after his efforts to become the face of the alliance failed. Kumar is notorious for switching his political loyalties at the time of elections. Ford Motors may return to India after departing the nation 2 years ago. According to Forbes India, the rumors started when the business chose to keep its Chennai production facility, even though it had previously intended to sell it. The fact that the Chennai factory is not up for sale, Ford will find it simpler to get back into business. According to the Forbes report, the plant could produce 340,000 engines and 200,000 cars annually. According to Forbes, Ford has the potential to introduce its well-liked SUVs into India, given the current trend indicating that these automobiles are the go-to option for the expanding Indian market. The report also said Ford's current CEO Jim Farley is concentrating on electric vehicles on a global scale. Airlines in India may suffer as a result of the US aviation regulator's decision to limit the production of the troubled Boeing 737 MAX models. Air India Express, SpiceJet, and Akasa Air have placed orders for hundreds of different variants of the plane. The US regulator's decision follows a near-catastrophic panel blowout on an Alaska Airlines flight 3 weeks ago. Thankfully, the plane made a safe landing, and the passengers only suffered minor injuries. But the fallout has made people pay closer attention to Boeing's production methods, and it is under increased scrutiny for its quality control procedures. The controversial models of the plane were involved in 2 crashes in 2018 and 2019 before they were grounded for a lengthy period. The top UN court is set to issue a temporary decision in South Africa's genocide lawsuit against Israel. The International Court of Justice is likely to order Israel to cease its activities in Gaza under emergency circumstances. Although the court's verdict is not enforceable and is likely to be disregarded by Israel, but it would have political implications. According to US media, the chief of the CIA is scheduled to meet with representatives from Egypt, Qatar, and Israel in the next few days to talk about a possible new ceasefire in Gaza. Tesla's stock fell more than 12% on the company's announcement that this year's sales growth will be slower than in 2023. That reduced the stock market value of the corporation by almost $80 billion. Despite lowering prices, the electric car maker stated that its sales growth may be notably lower in 2024. Tesla's quarterly results also fell short of Wall Street projections as well. The corporation has been lowering pricing in important global areas such as China and Europe because it is up against fierce competition from conventional automakers and Chinese rivals like BYD. The fact that borrowing costs have remained high due to global central banks maintaining high interest rates has also reduced demand. Damage to NASA's Ingenuity Mars helicopter, which accomplished the first powered flight on an alien planet, may have ended the expedition. A statement from NASA said that the aircraft's rotors were damaged during an emergency landing. Bill Nelson of the space agency described the aircraft as the little helicopter and noted that it had completed considerably more sorties than planned. He said, "The way for future flights in our solar system has been paved by Ingenuity." Though pictures from a ground vehicle accompanying the craft revealed that one or more of its rotor blades were destroyed and that the craft was no longer capable of flying, according to NASA, the circumstances are being looked into. The U.S. state of Alabama has employed nitrogen gas to execute convicted murderer Kenneth Eugene Smith, marking the first instance of this technique in the country's history. the 58-year-old convict lost 2 final appeals to the Supreme Court and 1 to a federal appeals court. Alabama attempted and failed to use a lethal injection to execute Smith in 2022. He was found guilty in 1989 of killing Elizabeth Sennett, a preacher's wife, in a homicide-for-hire incident. The Death Penalty Information Center said Smith is the only person ever executed using just pure nitrogen gas. Alabama and 2 other U.S. states have legalized the use of nitrogen hypoxia as an alternate form of execution, which has led to a decline in the usage of the death penalty nationwide. Thank you for watching. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Do tune in, same time tomorrow, for a roundup of the latest news and updates in India and around the world.